Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardener. So in today's video I will be taking off the bloom stalk. You can see the bloom stalk is dried out completely. I had just forgotten about this plant actually. Rather than cutting off, I should have cut off the bloom stalk long back, but in which ways now that it's completely dried, I can even collect the seeds. I'm not very sure if I'm going to be putting the seeds into the soil, but we will see. We will try and experiment what's going to happen. Now the bloom stalk is completely dried. When the bloom stalk is completely dried, you do not need to do anything. You can see this is the bloom stalk, and because it's completely dried, ideally I tell you guys to cut it off at the early stage, because that helps conserve the mother plant all the energy. And apart from that, bugs are something that tends to affect the bloom stalk very often. You can see there are some mealy bugs, and I'm sure the mealy bugs are also on the plant. But any which ways, we will be repotting this plant today. First, let me take out the bloom stalk, and I'm going to show you something in a while. So right now the bloom stalk is completely dried, so I can just twist and turn, and there you go. You can see the entire bloom stalk has come off from the stem without cutting it, and you can see there's a little bit of that white growth of fungus, and the mealybugs has also attacked this plant, but you can see it was very easy to take it off. So the entire flower stalk is out. And now what I wanted to show you is, because it's been almost a year this succulent has been in this pot. This is an Haworthia noble, so it's been almost a year. I had done a video of repotting this exactly a year back, I guess. And now the plant, if I'm going to kind of turn, I hope the soil does not fall off, but you will be able to see this. The succulent has got root bound, and this is the drain hole, and all of the roots have started to come out from the drain hole, which means that she is ready for a repot. You can see this just within a year, because this particular variety, what I have seen is Haworthia noble, is a very prolific grower. It tends to grow much faster as compared to other Haworthias, and any which ways right now they are in their growing period, so I can also see new growth. Probably again this is another bloom stalk coming up. I'm not very sure. We will get to know in time, because ideally the bloom stalks will start on the crown area or near the crown area. So probably this is a bloom stalk, but we'll have to wait and see what it's going to turn out to be. A lot of dry leaves. As I said, I had completely forgotten about this plant, so lot of dry leaves and the roots coming out from the, okay, let me hold this. There will be some soil that is going to come out. So you can see this, the roots have started to emerge from the pot. And guys, I haven't used any kind of fertilizer for this plant. Nothing has been added, and you can still see the growth is fantastic. So I have dropped all the soil. I will clean it up, and first I will try and get rid of the dry leaves, and I'm sure there are going to be a lot of bugs. You can see this is the reason why cleaning is so much needed. And there we go, some more. I completely forgot about this plant. I should have done a cleaning long back, but nevertheless the plant is healthy. Thankfully no mealybugs on the stem, nothing is sticking onto the stem. We have a small little pup again growing over here. So let me first get rid of all of those dry leaves. Tons and tons of dry leaves, and you can see this is the kind of mold, cotton mold, and the eggs of the mealybugs. They were having a nice gala time in it, but now it's time to get rid of them. And now I won't be using the same soil mix. I'm going to be repotting it right away, and I won't be using the same soil mix because there are some mealybugs. I will have to put it out in the sun, treat the soil, and then use it again. Probably I'll take out the lower leaves for propagation. There we go. And I think few more is okay. Very gently twist and turn, and the leaves will come out very clean. So I'm going to keep the leaves aside because they are a little bit misshaped because of lack of light and stuff like that. Over here I have a little bit of that cotton growth, but overall I think the mealybugs have not attacked this plant a lot. It's still doing quite well. Not a lot of mealybugs. Considering the amount of dry leaves, I thought I will be in for a big surprise, but thankfully there is nothing much. It's a very minor thing and a little bit of dry leaves. So I will clean off the succulent before I move it to another pot. some dry leaves in between, and these are all of those dry leaves. I'll have to discard them far away, and overall not much. And I will get another pot and I'll start to repot. First, let me just clear all the clutter, and I'm going to get back with a new pot, and I'm going to just show you a quick tutorial of repotting this. So we are back and I have my pot ready. I had made another pot. I usually during the summer season, during the growing period, be during winters or summers, I always keep around 5 to 6 pots handy, so that anytime there is any plant that needs to be repotted, so I always have a backup of couple of concrete pots. So this was another one that I had recently made. So I'm going to cover the drain hole, and then I'm going to show you the roots as well. You can see this is the roots of Haworthia noble. It's doing quite well, and I'm very happy that I didn't see any mealybugs in the roots. That was such a relief. There are some mealybugs on the succulent because of the bloom stalk, but I'm very thankful that I didn't see any mealybugs in the root area. The stem area had some cotton growth, but apart from that there was nothing major wherein I have to do any kind of treatment for it. So now let's fill the pot with our soil mix. Now here I am using a mix of garden soil and the grey construction sand, because I couldn't find the aquarium sand, so I was able to manage with the grey construction sand, which is mixed with some garden soil. I'm going to place the succulent. Now if you want, you can always trim the roots a little bit. There is no harm in trimming the roots, or you can just take them off with your hand. There's no harm. You can take a little bit of the roots and then just place your succulent in and start filling the soil. And there we go, we are done with the repotting. A little bit bending to the sides. And there we go, we are done with the potting. Just clean off the edges a little bit. Now this soil, it tends to look like it's almost touching the edge, but as and when we water it, the soil will start to kind of settle down a little bit, because this is a very loose mix right now, because it is very fluffy and we are just filled in the soil, so it looks like it's almost till the brim. But as and when we start doing top watering, the soil will start to settle. But of course we are not going to be watering it right away. We will wait for at least succulent looks quite hydrated, so we can wait for at least a week or so. The succulent is going to be kept in indirect bright light. Do not expose it to direct sunlight. So now that the succulent has been repotted, we want the succulent to settle down, so we are not going to water it right away, and we are not going to offer direct sunlight right away. We will wait for a couple of days. Probably watering, as I said, after a week or so, and sunlight probably after 15, 20 or maybe 25 days. It's absolutely okay. It's going to be kept in indirect bright light, and when I will start giving it a morning direct sunlight, I'll have to do the same process of slow acclimation. I cannot put it out in direct sunlight in one go, otherwise the leaves will get burned. So as you can see, the entire process was very simple. Now all we have to do is just wait. Whenever the succulent starts to settle in and it starts getting that good amount of light, the leaves will get the color back. Right now I'm not much worried about the colors, because as I've said, Haworthias are in their growing period, so they are going to lose that anthocyanin pigment, which is the stress colors, and it is going to be more green, which is absolutely normal, which is very essential. Don't be worried if your succulent is starting to turn green, especially Haworthia during the summer season. That is a very good sign. The succulent is in its growing period, and we should let the succulent grow. So that's all about it, guys. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.